ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। From number 16. आब्रह्मभुवनाल्लोकाः
आब्रह्मभुवनाल्लोकाः
पुनरावर्तिनोऽर्जुन
पुनरावर्तिनोऽर्जुन
मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय
मामपेत्य तु कौन्तेय
माम् उपेत्य तु कौन्तेय
मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते
सहस्रयुगपर्यन्तम्
सहस्रयुगपर्यन्तम्
आहर्यद्ब्रह्मणो विदुः
आहर्यद्ब्रह्मणो विदुः
रात्रिं युगसहस्रान्ताम्
रात्रिं युगसहस्रान्ताम्
देहोरात्रविदो जनाः
देहोरात्रविदो जनाः
अव्यक्ताद्व्यक्तयः सर्वाः
सर्वाः
प्रभवन्त्यः रागमे
प्रभवन्त्यः रागमे
रात्र्यागमे प्रलीयन्ते
रात्र्यागमे प्रलीयन्ते
तत्रैवाव्यक्तसंज्ञके
तत्रैवाव्यक्तसंज्ञके
भूतग्रामः स एवायम्
भूतग्रामः स एवायम्
भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते
भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते
रात्र्यागमे वशः पार्थ
रात्र्यागमे वशः पार्थ
प्रभवत्यः रागमे
प्रभवत्यः रागमे
परस्तस्मात्तु भावोऽन्यः
परस्तस्मात्तु भावोऽन्यः
अव्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः
अव्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः
यस्य सर्वेषु भूतेषु
यस्य सर्वेषु भूतेषु
नश्यत्सु न विनश्यति
नश्यत्सु न विनश्यति
अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इत्युक्तः
अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इत्युक्तः
तमाहुः परमां गतिम्
तमाहुः परमां गतिम्
यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते
यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते
तद्धाम परमं मम
तद्धाम परमं मम
अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इत्युक्तः
अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इत्युक्तः
तमाहुः परमां गतिम्
तमाहुः परमां गतिम्
यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते
यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते
तद्धाम परमं मम
तद्धाम परमं मम
So we talked about that which is more pervasive, subtler, and closer to Atma than this Avyaktam also. Tasmat Avyaktat Paraha. And what is that? That is Bhavaha. That is existence, awareness, consciousness, Bhavaha, which is Sanatanaha, which is eternal, which is Nityam, Nityaha. We saw that in the last class. So this Anya in that shloka, okay, we're supposed to do 20 now, 21 today, but just to recap, shloka number 20. Okay, so there is Anyaha Avyaktaha. Okay, Anyaha Avyaktaha. There is another Avyakta. Okay, this is a pen. Okay, this is a ballpoint pen in my hand. Okay, Lekhani pen. Suppose I say another pen, Anya Lekhani. Suppose I say, there it is, another pen. Correct? And both are identical also. Okay, I'll rotate it and show it. Both are kind of blackish in color. It's reflecting light, so you can't see the full blackness. But it's somewhat translucent black. Okay? And Anya, correct? Another pen. So what is another pen? Is it like this? Anyaha avyaktaha? There are many avyaktas. Among those many avyaktas, unmanifest, this Atma is another avyakta. Is that the way to understand it? So we have to think a little bit. So our acharyas think like that. Anyaha means another. So many things are there in the word, there is another. Okay. Now here, another pen, identical pen, another exactly identical to this other pen. This pen is this other pen, Anyaha. Okay, another identical. Okay, this is one type of another. Okay, what is another type of another? The other type of another is this type of another. I'm about to show you that. Okay, this is the pen, original pen. This is original. Okay, this is the mother of all pens, original pen. Then, okay, it's as I told you, it's a translucent black. Okay, but then now there is another pen. Look at this. This pen is also a ballpoint pen. It's different in color, obviously. Inside the ink is same, but it's a different pen, obviously. Different type of pen also. This is one type of family of pens. This is another family of pens. This is different. Not the identical pen, but anyaha could be different. Okay. Now, different. Then I'm going to show you one more thing. This is the original pen. Then I'm going to show you this one, or I can show you this one. This is better, I think. Or here is another one. This is anyaha. Anya. This is the original. This is anyaha. And this is a pencil. This is a pencil. Anyaha. Now what happened? Well, this is not a pen. Pencil is not a pen. But you know what? Pencil and pen are of the same family. They're all used to write stuff. If you want to write somebody's phone number, what will you do? I need a red pen. You won't say, hey, give me a pen fast. And somebody brought you a pencil. You're not going to scream at that person. What is it? I asked you for a red pen. You gave me a pencil. You won't say, why? Because you all understand. Hey, you wanted something to write. I gave you something to write. Don't crib. Okay? This is what we say. And so, same family. Anyaha, but a different kind of anyaha. Okay. Now, what they say is the first type of anyaha. There are three types of anyaha. Now you can understand. What are the three types? One is there is a vijatiya bhedaha. No, I not vijatiya. Sajatiya bhedaha. Sajatiya. Sajatiya means what? Same jati, writing, family of pens. You go to the stationery shop and you see all kinds of pens they have. And very complicated. Some pens have a pencil attached to it. And then sometimes pencil has a eraser attached to it. So all these are family. Same family only. So same family. Sajatiyaha. Sajatiyaha. They're all same family. Like chair, table, all these things are same jati, furniture jati. Like that here, writing implements jati. All pencil, pens, different types of pens, fountain pens, ballpoint pens, all these are same jati. Sajatiyaha. So what is there is a difference between this pen and this pencil, and the difference is sajatiya bhedaha. There is a bheda, same family, but they are different within the same family. It's called sajatiya bhedaha. Then there is something called vijatiya bhedaha. Different object, but different families also. Like the pen and this clock. I have a clock in front of me. So there is a clock. What is the connection between this and this? I don't know what is the connection. Maybe I need a clock and I need a pen in a class because I need to write and I need to watch the time. That's the only connection. But they are different families completely. Pen and chair, different family. Pen and house, different, completely different. No connection. Pen and tree, it doesn't seem to. They are different families. And so that is called what? Vijatiya bhedaha. Anyaha can mean sajatiya bhedaha. Anyaha can mean vijatiya bhedaha. Correct? Two types of Vedas. These are the only two types of Vedas that are there. Then they add one more thing. It is called Swagata Bhedaha. Swagata Bhedaha means what? If you take the pen itself and then you will see there are some parts. Oh, okay. There are some parts. What are the parts? Cap has come out of the pen. I have removed the cap from the pen. So this pen also, within the pen, there seem to be some parts, and Swagata. Within the pen itself, there are some parts, and each part is something different. And they all need to go together in order to make a pen. But this pen can be broken into various pieces. There is a stem, and then there is a refill, and then this and that. There's so many things. That's called Swagata Bheda. Okay. So what are the three types of Bheda? Vijatiya Bheda, Sajatiya Bheda, and Swagata Bheda. And everywhere you can use the word Anyaha. So therefore, Atma is what? Which of these Vedas? Veda is there because Anyaha. Anya means there is some Veda. But yahan par, this Anya is not like this pen Anya. Okay, it is not like pen Anya, chair Anya, etc. Okay, a tree Anya, etc. It is something entirely different. How entirely different can Brahma be? Atma is very different from everything in this world. How very different it is? Atma is not another object. Atma is not an object at all. Everything else in this world is an object of my perception, but Atma is the self, that is the observer, and Atma is the subject. Therefore, Atma not being any other object, this Anyaha is not Sajatiya Anyaha, not Vijatiya Anyaha, not Swagata Anyaha. Atma is Satyam. Anything else you talk about is Mithya, including Avyaktam and Vyaktam. Correct? Therefore, this Anyaha tu. So therefore, this Anyaha can mean Salakshanyam. Salakshanyam means what? Similar families, Sajatiya, Vidatiya, etc. But यहाँ पर Salakshanyam नहीं है. Vailakshanyam. Vailakshanyam means what? Entirely different. So they will say, commentators will say things like Vailakshanya Dyotanartham tu. That tu refers to something, showing us something very different that you can't even imagine. Like that, the commentator will say, Vailakshanya Dyotanartham, to emphasize, to reveal, to unfold something very different, which is not Salakshanyam, which is nothing like you've seen. It's not like Avyaktam, not like Avyaktam, etc. So, that I wanted to add today. And so we were discussing this light years and all, space and things like that. And so that I made a couple of notes I did not complete. So that talks about three types of galaxies, right? One is a dwarf galaxy, another is a major galaxy, another is a giant galaxy. That's what our physicists categorize. So this dwarf galaxy, what is the nearest dwarf galaxy? It's called Canis Major Dwarf. Okay, it's dwarf, but it is major apparently. So Canis Major Dwarf is what? 25,000 light years away. 25,000 light years away. We talked about light year, how far it is, etc. Okay, so then the nearest major galaxy is called Andromeda galaxy. Okay, Andromeda. And how far it is? It is 2.5, 2.5 million light years away. That means you turn on your flashlight, torchlight now, and then 2.5 million years later, 2.5 million years later, okay, not 2.5 years later, 2.5 million years later, the place that light will reach, that is where this Andromeda galaxy is there. Okay, that's how far it is. And then there is this nearest giant galaxy called Centaurus A. Centaurus A. Okay, that is the name of the galaxy, and that is 12 million light years away. 12 million light years away. So these scales are too huge, and so this context of space we talked about, and so the space can accommodate a small pen. It can accommodate a mustard seed, and it can accommodate the Centaurus A also. So anything is that's how big this space is. Okay, and so this is what we are after. And so now we're going to look at this shloka number 21. Avyaktokshara ityuktaha tamahuh paramam gatim. Yam prapyana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So he is going to talk. What is that avyakta? He is not finished yet, Krishna. So what did he say in the previous shloka? Tasmat paraha tasmattu bhavaha anyaha avyakta. Anyaha avyakta. That avyakta, what is that avyakta? I'm going to say, he says. So how to split this shloka? Avyaktaha aksharaha iti Uktaha tam ahuhu paramam gatim. Everything else is already split. Okay. So avyaktaha. What is avyaktaha? What is that unmanifest? Aksharaha. Aksharaha, he says. Iti uktaha. Uktaha. Said. It is said. It is said that avyaktaha is aksharaha. It is said that unmanifest is aksharaha, imperishable. And aksharaha, if you say, we already got exposed to akshara, the word akshara. And when did we see here akshara before?
Aksharam Paramam Brahmam.
Aksharam param brahma. And when did that come?
Beginning of the chapter.
Beginning of the chapter, 8th chapter.
Yes.
Or was it 7th chapter? No, it can't be 7th. It has to be 8th. It has to be 8th. Yeah.
Aksharam,
So therefore, kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam. Like that, Arjuna asked the question in sloka number 1 of chapter 8. And then sloka number 3, Bhagavan, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Right? Aksharam brahma paramam. Swabhavodhyatmam uchyate. Like that he talks. So there he said, hey, this Brahma, I'll tell you in one word the answer. The answer is Aksharam. Or after that, he doesn't explain anything else. He moves on to various other topics. So that same Aksharaha, Atra, here. So Aksharaha, iti uktaha. That avyaktaha is not, don't think it is another unmanifest. The unmanifest of the unmanifest, don't start imagining things. No, it is the Aksharam Brahma. It is that all pervasive Brahma, which is the Satyam of this entire Jagat Sat, and which is Chit, which is you, consciousness. Okay? And so that imperishable Aksharaha is what you must understand when I say Anyaha Avyaktaha in the previous shloka. Okay, correct. That's what Krishna is saying. And so Aksharaha, imperishable, means what? Not in time. Any object always exists in time and space, and therefore this Akshara cannot exist in time and space. It has to sustain time, it has to sustain space. That is the difference between space and Atma, space and Brahma. Last time I asked the question, what is the difference? What is the difference? Space is an object, Brahma is subject. Space has name and form. Brahma, Atma has no name, no form. Space is Mithya, Atma is Satyam. Space will become Avyaktam. Space is Vyaktam now, but it will become Avyaktam in Pralaya. But Atma will not become Avyaktam. Why? Atma sustains Avyaktam and Vyaktam. Correct? So, those are the differences between space and Atma. And so there's Aksharam. I think you by now you know some references. And one more reference is from Mandukya Upanishad, right? Omityaksharam idam sarvam tasya upavyakhyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyadeti sarvam omkaraha eva. So there, Mandukya shloka number 1 uses the word Aksharam and Om. And then also when in Mundaka Upanishad, when Bhagavan or when Upanishad talks about Paravidya and Aparavidya. Okay, Paravidya and Aparavidya. So some new students are there. So I generally take these phrases for granted because all the students here know these things. Paravidya and Aparavidya. The knowledge of objects is Aparavidya. The knowledge of everything I perceive, including the black hole, including the cosmos and cosmology, everything is Aparavidya. Knowledge of the self, knowledge of Ishvara, knowledge of Jiveshvara Ikyam, it is Paravidya. So there Mundaka Upanishads explains that and makes an audacious statement. And it says Veda also is Aparavidya, right? So Tatra Apara, Rig Vedo, Yajur Vedo, Sama Vedo, Tharvanaha, like that he says. That means all the words of the Veda, I would think it is Paravidya. No, it says aparavidya. All words are mithya. And it is talking. Yeah, all the talking is mithya. Then what is paravidya? Tell me what is paravidya. Paravidya is very, Upanishad said, yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. Correct? That by which that aksharam Brahma is understood is called paravidya. So it doesn't categorically say this is paravidya, that is aparavidya. Anything that you can categorically say has to come in the category of aparavidya. Correct? Anything that you can't point to is called paravidya. No, but I can point to Atma. Atma is right here. Yeah, Atma is this body. This is the body you're pointing to. But Atma is there inside, but Atma is there outside also. So you really can't point to Atma. Therefore, that aksharam, okay, aksharaha iti uktaha. Avyaktaha aksharaha iti uktaha. Then what? Tam ahuhu paramam gatim. Because he doesn't explain aksharaha much more than that. And elsewhere also, ashabdam, asparsham, arupam, arasam, agandavachayati. Like that in Kathopanishad, he's going to say, Yama is going to give a lecture to Nachiketa. Ashabdam means it is not, to say that it is not an object. It is ashabdam, means you can't hear it. Asparsham, you can't touch it. Arupam, you can't see it. Arasam, you can't taste it. Agandavachayat, you can't smell it. Like that, he starts giving a list. But then the Guruji, even I know sprouted beans is there. The doctor is asking me to take sprouted beans. And mung, sprouted mung. And it has no smell, it has no taste, and it's so horrible. And if Guruji, if Atma is anything like this, then I am not interested in Atma, okay? This class is of no use to me. Yeah, Atma seems to be like that, except it's not an object like sprouted beans or tofu. In America, there is something called tofu. Here also, I don't know if they sell tofu or not. It is this soya bean curd, they call it, soya bean. So that ground soya bean, whatever curd they get out of it, is called tofu. And I bought tofu just once in my life. And I think it's supposed to be healthy or something because it's soya bean. But ashabdam, asparsham, arupam, arasam, agandavachi, it is arasam. It is just no rasa at all, absolutely. Then I said, this arasam is not needed for me. Right now, I'm not interested in anything arasam. And so I gave up tofu after that. And so, tam ahuhu paramam gatim. Okay. Ahuhu means they say. They say. What do they say? That is the ultimate end, paramam gatim. And previous shloka also, that word came up. What does he say? Paramam. Tadhama. இல்ல இதுல தான் வருது அடுத்தது paramdhama is coming. Okay, paramam gatim. But earlier also it's there. 15. I'm looking at 15 shloka now. Paramam gataha mamupetya punarjan. Paramam. Same paramam. Same param. That which is all pervasive. And it's all pervasive. Therefore, that paraha, you can't try to find out where it is. It's not located anywhere. And and it is siddha vastu. It is something that's already exists. And so it is not a place where you're going to go. And yam prapya na nivartante. Having reached there, they don't return. My God, that sounds pretty scary. Having reached there, nobody returns. Is what? Is it black hole or what? Having reached, see, black hole keeps on attracting things. Even sunlight will just go inside, it seems, and nothing don't come out. I don't even reflect light. Light also gets trapped by black hole. And is it anything like that, Guruji? If that is like that, then even then also, I have another reason not to be interested in this. Okay, this Atma is scary. Yam prapyana nivartante. But then it can't be scary because it is you, the you that is now here. And that Atma, I am not scared of that Atma. In fact, Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. Because of this Atma only, I love everything in this world. Therefore, there is no question of being scared. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik Tad Drishyam Driktu Manasam. So, there is a shloka. Priyam, they talk about Atma as Priyam. Sarvesham Priyaha. There is a Swamiji called Sarva Priyanam. Correct? Many of you have heard of Swami from IIT Kanpur. He is very popular. He's got million views and all that. Some of his videos. He's become so popular. So you can see why it's critical for somebody to make it practical and make it live and say it in words that are, you can't use words like supreme and this and that and make people go, drive people to go somewhere. We don't need that. Advaita Vedanta brings people back, correct? It brings people back to the ground. Hey, you don't have to levitate and this and that, look up. No, just look straight first. Let's be normal human beings first. Don't keep on looking up like this. And looking up, just give up. And then just look at yourself first. You can't run away from yourself, my dear. And even you go to heaven, there also I'll be comparing with everybody. Who else has come to heaven? We're all a part of a special club, right? So I'll be looking around. Then it's, what? You here? Huh? What did you do? At least I did a lot of good things. I did a lot of dhanam and I studied some Bhagavad Gita and all that. But wait a minute. You insulted everybody. I know that. And people hated you. How could God get you here? That is how my thinking will be. How can I be any different in heaven? I'm still not. Nobody has given me good arguments. I will be different in heaven. Tell me why. Nobody has told me anything why. I'll have the same mentality. Because same karma. Same mentality will be there. So better change the mentality here itself. Tadhama paramam mama. Tadhama paramam mama. Mama paramam dhama. That is mama dhama. Dhama, a very popular word, Dhama. So Char Dham and this and that they say. That is coming from this Dhama. Dhama, Sanskrit students, Dhama is Nakaranta Napumsakalingam. Okay, Nakaranta Napumsakalingam, Dhaman Shabdaha. Dhaman. Dhama, Dhamani, Dhamani. Like Karma, Karmani, Karmani. Karman is the pratipadikam of the word karma. Like that, dharma is prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. Or it could be actually mama dharma. Therefore, it is actually dvitiya vibhakti ekavachanam. Correct? Mama dharma, mine. That means that whatever is mine is an object, not prathama vibhakti. Right? Therefore, dharma, dhamani, dhamani, dharma, dhamani, dhamani. Dvitiya vibhakti. Okay, that is Sanskrit. So that Dhamma is what? Abode. It is a place. The way people visualize Dhamma is a place where Bhagavan is. Mama Dhamma. Mama Dhamma. So that is a common understanding is when I go to that, my troubles will end. All my troubles will end when I go there. That's a popular understanding. But yahan par aisa nahi hai. Wherever I go is within time and space, and it is limited, it is anityam. And Kshene Punya Martyalokam Vishanti, Krishna also is saying that. And so when the Punya is exhausted, then I have to leave that place. And so Yahan par to my true nature, my Swarupa is that Dhama. Mama Dhama, Mama Swarupam. That is my nature. And that is your nature also. And so, what about this Sri Ram and Sri Krishna and all the Devis that I worship? Yeah, the one needs to worship. Last time we said that bhakti is needed and to be developed by this Dvaita Bhavana. But then the form I worship is also Apara Prakritihi. And then this Dhamma that Krishna is talking about is Para Prakriti using the language of the 7th chapter. Correct? And so that is how we understand this. So let's translate this shloka. Yam prapya na nivartante. Any place in time means entry, exit will be there. So this nivartanam will be there, returning. Yet this Shastra constantly use this word returning. Returning means it is assuming, it is referring to earth, this life on earth as a human being, right? That seems to be central. And so wherever you can go wherever you want, but you will come back. Like that's the idea. Come back. Come back means need not be this world. Has to come back to some world where you will continue to exhaust karma and gather karma. That is the idea there. Okay. So we're going to translate the shloka number 21. The unmanifest that was spoken of as the one that is not subject to destruction. The unmanifest that was spoken of as the one that is not subject to destruction, comma, they say, ahuhu, they say, comma, is the greatest end, is the greatest end, greatest within quotes, greatest end, full stop. The unmanifest that was spoken of as the one that is not subject to destruction, comma, they say, comma, is the greatest end or greatest thing to be achieved, greatest end, full stop. That abode of mine, that abode of mine, okay, abode, not Adobe, abode of mine, comma, gaining which, gaining which, gaining which, within brackets, people do not return. That abode of mine, comma, gaining which people do not return, comma, is the highest. Highest within quotes is the highest. The irony is the highest is the closest. Correct? Highest must be farthest. Highest floor in the building must be the farthest floor in the building. No, here highest is the closest. That's the beauty. Okay, everybody got that? That abode of mine, comma, gaining which people do not return, comma, is the highest. Okay, we're going to chant the next one, 22. Purushah saparah partha
Purushah saparah partha
bhaktya labhyastvananyaya
bhaktya labhyastvananya
tvananyaya
tvananyaya
yasyam tasthani bhutani
yasyantasthani bhutani
yena sarvamidam tatam.
yena sarvamidam tatam.
Purushah saparah partha
Purushah saparah partha
bhaktya labhyastvananyaya
bhaktya labhyastvananya tvananya
anyaya
anyaya
yasyam tasthani bhutani. So Raghavan, your internet is somewhat weak, I think, because I can see everybody moving, but you're stationary. Yasyam tasthani bhutani
यस्यान्तस्थानि भूतानि
येन सर्वमिदं ततम्.
येन सर्वमिदं ततम्.
Yeah. Again, some words, similar words, Purushaha, Paraha, okay. Bhaktya, some familiar words are there. Okay. Purushaha, Labhya. So he's going to talk about how to gain this. So Labhya, the word Labhya is there here in between. So how do you split this? Purushaha, Saha, Paraha, Partha, Labhya, Bhaktya, Labhyaha, Tu, Anyaya. यस्य अंतस्थानि भूतानि येन सर्वम इदम ततम. Labhyah, it is gained. It is gained. So he's going to talk about how this is gained. Because yam prapya na nivartante, etc. He said prapya. So katam prapnamaha. How are we to gain this? Okay. So purushaha, look at the word here. Hey Partha, saha paraha purushaha. That paraha previously he said aksharaha. Now he is using the word purushaha. Just in case we did not understand aksharaha enough, he says that it is aksharaha and it is purushaha also. Purushaha, if I say, now by now you must know two definitions of purushaha. What are those? These things you must write down, memorize it.
Navadvare Pure Dehi.
Yeah, Navadvare Pure Dehi. But what is the definition of Purusha? Purau Ushati iti Purushaha. Okay, this you must write down. Purau Ushati. One who lives in the city, as though one who indwells the city. Purau Ushati. Okay. Another definition is what? We'll come to the other definition later. Purau Ushati. Okay. One who lives in this city. Shankara says Puri Shayanat Purusha. Puri Shayanat Purusha. Shayanam means sleeping. Sleeping. One who is sleeping in this city, in this body, is called Purusha. Like that he's saying. And so sleeping means what? As though sleeping. So that Purusha is the only thing that is awake, really speaking. You know, everybody comes and goes, everybody sleeps and wakes up and all that. But Purusha, this Atma Purusha is always awake. So always there in the body. That is why Vishnu Bhagavan, how is it shown? Vishnu is Sthiti Karta, correct? Brahma created the world and gave it to Vishnu and said, you take care of this world. That's it. My job is over. And my job, you take care of this world. And taking care of this world, taking care of a couple of children itself, we are having so much problem. And Vishnu is supposed to take care of the whole world. So he must be the most stressed out person. He must be bald, first of all. If he's a he, must be bald. Because all pulled out, hair is all pulled out. But this man is just lying down like this. And lying down, my God, this man is, he's taking a break or what? No, he's always like that. He's always like that. He's not taking a break. He's on a vacation time, Saturday, Sunday. Always like that. So sleeping as though sleeping. Uninvolved. My goodness. So that is Purushaha, as though sleeping, like Vishnu. And yet everything moves exactly that, like the way it should. And even at home, things happen exactly like it should. Outside, the trees and plants and everything exactly like it should. The solar system also seems to be, the earth also seems to be moving exactly as it should. And these comets and all that are falling periodically also seems to be happening exactly as it should. Galaxies also should happen exactly as it should. So that kind of okay, exactly as it should. Therefore, Vishnu has no problem. Everything is done exactly as it should. Therefore, I am just going to relax. So that relaxed Atma is Purushaha, and that Chaitanyaha is Purushaha. Okay. And now comes, what is the second definition? First definition over, right? Purishayanat, Purau Ushati, both same. Okay. Shankara is saying Purishayanat. Because that Atma is as though sleeping, it's called Purushaha. That is Shankara's way. Or Purau Ushati. Purau is Saptami. So in the city, in this 9-gated city that Satishji was saying, right? Navadware Pure Dehi Ushati. Dehi Ushati. Dehi dwells, indwells. That is one definition. What is the second definition?
This Vishnu sleeping on the
Purishayanat iti Puri.
Purishayanat is
Limitless.
over. Same as the first one. Purishayanat and Pura Ushati, same definition.
Limitless.
Sarvam Purayati iti Purushaha. Sarvam Purayati. It fills up everything. Purayati. Fills up everything. Whatever is there is filled up by Atma. Like what?
Adhidaivatam we said. Purushascha Adhidaivatam in 8th chapter itself.
Yeah. So what did we say there?
Adhibhutam Sharobhavaha Purushascha Adhidaivatam.
Yeah. Purusha Jadi Devatam.
So that's the
Correct.
second definition?
No. He's using the word Purusha to describe Adhidevatam.
Okay.
Adhidevatam. So there we said Purushaha. But the definition of Purusha is this Sarvam Purayati iti Purusha. Definition. That which fills up everything is Purusha. And Shankara says that Purnatvat, he says, Bhagavan Bhashikara says, Purnatvat va, he says. Purishayanat, Shankara says, then Purnatvat va, or because of being, filling up everything, okay, that is called Purushaha. So Prasadji asked, please explain this mantra, Purnamadah, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. I have not forgotten. And so, that Purnamadaha, how it can, if something fills up everything, then what? Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. That is full. This is full. This is full. Atma is full. That is also full. Ishvara is full. Jagat also is full. Filled up with Atma. Same Atma only, not two Atmas. If there are two Atmas, then you can't say full. Then it is only partially full. Maybe it's almost complete, but little bit pending. Pending Vagera will not work here. Okay. So Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. So like that. And so, then what? Purushaha, Saha, Saha. He is Purushaha. He is Paraha. Paraha also we have seen. Paraha is limitless. And then, now look at this. Labhyaha. How is that Paraha gained? Bhaktya tu Ananyaya. Okay. Bhaktya tu Ananyaya. This we have to spend a little time. Bhakti. Bhaktya labhya. Gained by devotion. That we all know. Without devotion, nothing will happen. An astika cannot really pursue properly Bhagavad Gita. Even if an astika begins to pursue the study of Bhagavad Gita and begins to appreciate it, that person will become a, I mean, that is a Nastika. I'm referring to a Nastika. Okay, Nastika means one who doesn't believe in the Vedas. That person will quickly become an Astika. Because it is mind-boggling. Oh, Ishvara, I thought Ishvara is somewhere out there, therefore I won't believe in God. I won't believe in a God that is far away somewhere. You have not given me any proof. You are just quoting some text is saying, therefore I believe. I won't accept that, he says. I like such people because that person is a thinking person. That person has said, Paroksha Ishvara, I won't believe, he says. Shastram says, Aparoksha Ishvara, my dear. And all pervasive Atma is that Purusha, Paramatma, and Paramatma is Atma, if you say, then that person's attitude about God has to change. And so that person will become an Astika. Because that's a power. That is the power of our Shastra. And so look at this here. Look at this here. So, bhakti. I have bhakti to Krishna, I have bhakti to Devi, Lakshmi Devi, and Saraswati Devi. Means what? Saraswati is there, she is going to give me jnanam. Therefore, I have a lot of devotion for her. Correct? But Saraswati is not me. Saraswati is separate from me, and she will give me whatever I want. The vidya that I want, she will give me. Okay. What kind of bhakti is it? It is Anya Bhakti, correct? Anya Bhakti. Why it's called Anya Bhakti? It is Anya Bhakti because I consider Saraswati as separate from me. Anyaha, other. From me, I consider she is separate. She is not me. Therefore, it is Anya Bhakti. Dvaita Bhakti. Correct? Paroksha Bhakti. You should now be able to bring in all those words. These are all not new words to you anymore. Saraswati is Paroksha. Paroksha Saraswati. Paroksha Devi. And that bhakti is very important bhakti. We all have that bhakti. Without that bhakti, it's not possible to pursue this. Then that bhakti, Krishna says, it should take me to what? Ananya Bhaktya. Tritiya Vibhakti. Ananyaya, he says. Ananyaya means by the Ananya Bhakti. Ananyaya Bhaktya. Right? Tritiya Vibhakti. So by the Ananya Bhakti, but I am used to Anya Bhakti only. Ananya Bhakti is what? Now worship Saraswati as not separate from yourself. Can I do that? Yes, I can do that. Because that is Satyam. That is Satyam. I learned to do that. That is why when I do the puja, I will say, Soham Bhavena Pujayet. Soham. Saham or Saha. Saham or Soham. Saraswati Aham iti Bhavena Pujayet. With that attitude, I worship Saraswati. Okay, that Ananya Bhakti is what is being referred to here. Ananya means what? Na Anya. Yasya Saha. Na Anya. The one for whom Ishvara is not Anyaha is called Ananya. Beautiful word, Ananya. You know how many people understand this? Ananya is a nice name. And so that kind of bhakti characterized by this, a devotion where there is no dvaita, no dvaita bhava, characterized by devotion that has advaita bhava. And how can you have advaita bhava? Advaita bhava is possible only by knowledge, because it is ignorance that separates me from everything else. And so the only thing that is going to dissolve this dvaita, culminate the dvaita into advaita, is knowledge. Because knowledge always is. Advaita is. Dvaita is created by me. I'm the one who is saying there is dvaita. Projection. I'm the one who's projecting all these things as separate. Really speaking, there is no separation. It is just one whole. And I've categorized things for my own convenience. That is fine. But I take the convenience to be absolutely real. That is where my problem is. So, that Ananya Bhakti, and it is not a new topic for us. We have already experienced it. We've seen it before. Okay. Where did we see it? Okay.
Ananyas Chintayanto Mam.
Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Ye Jana Paryupasate.
Desha
Desha
Yuktam Viyuktanam Yogakshem.
Kshemam Vahamyaham. Okay. And then, and ninth chapter, that is the ninth chapter. Correct? We have not seen it yet. But we have seen it before. Where did we see it?
Ananya Cheta Satatam.
Ananya Cheta Satatam.
And then
Afterwards,
Ananya Cheta Satatam. Okay, but there Ananya Bhakti is not talked about. There's a mind that seventh. Okay, what is unmute? Meera, unmute and say.
After that, Chaturvidha bhajante. After Artha, Artha, Arthi, the next sloka.
There you go. Chaturvidha bhajante mam. Jana Sukriti no Arjuna. Artho, that is 7th chapter, shloka number 16. Okay. Artho Jignasur Jnani Cha Bharatarshava.
17th shloka, Guruji.
17th Tesham Jnani Nitya Yuktaha Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. So we did that. You can go back and refer to the notes. So if I was an average teacher like everybody, I'd say, go back children, go back and refer to the notes from 3 weeks ago. Oh, we're done. Syllabus is over. Okay. We are ready for exams. Okay. No, Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. He quietly said that and went away. Eka Bhaktihi. What is Eka Bhaktihi? Ananya Bhaktihi is Eka Bhaktihi. Correct? A Bhakti, Advaita Bhaktihi is Eka Bhaktihi. And that is why he says, Jnani tu Atmaiva me matam. Later on also in 18th shloka he says that Jnani is no different than me. Okay, he's saying that. And he says things like, I am dear to the Jnani and the Jnani is dear to me. Like that and all he says. It feels as though he is partial to a Jnani. Okay. No, Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. He is driving us towards that Eka Bhakti. Okay. So therefore, Ananya Bhakti is not new to us. We've seen it in the 7th chapter. Okay.
So can we call Paravidya as knowledge of self?
Paravidya is the knowledge of self. Correct. Knowledge of non-self is Aparavidya. Knowledge of self is Paravidya.
Knowledge of Ishvara is or self.
Knowledge of Ishvara, that is Paroksha Ishvara, is not Paravidya. Knowledge of Aparoksha Ishvara is Paravidya. I'm purposely now introducing these words because you know it. Because now Ishvara means Paroksha Ishvara va Aparoksha Ishvara. If I place Ishvara out there in Golok Vrindavan, then that Ishvara is useful for me to go there. That is Paroksha Ishvara. And I'll play Dandiya with Krishna. Then several years, several yugas I will spend there and I'll come back to that. Therefore, what is Paravidya? Knowledge of Aparoksha Ishvara. Knowledge of Ishvara as not separate from me is called Paravidya. Correct. Okay. Then what? What does Bhashikara say? Shankaracharya say? Saha bhaktya labhyaha tu jnana lakshanaya ananyaya, he says. Jnana lakshanaya. A devotion that is characterized by knowledge. Okay, that means what? Just say bhakti yoga and then jnana yoga. Now you can see Shankara doesn't look at it like that. There is no separate paths and all that. Yeah, bhakti is there, no doubt. But bhakti yoga, when you say jnana yoga, when you say jnana yoga cannot exist without bhakti, bhakti yoga cannot exist without jnana. Correct? Chakra doesn't see it like that. Jnana lakshanaya ananyaya bhaktya, he says. Because ajnanam is there, therefore jnanam has to be brought in. Okay. Therefore, and then he says atma vishayaya. He adds another clause. Atma vishayaya bhaktya means what? That bhakti whose topic is atma, he says. That jnanam whose topic is Ishvara, but that topic is also atma vishayaya. So Shankara is not going to leave this alone just like that. Okay. And so that devotion, that inquiry that is imbued with devotion that is imbued with inquiry, okay, that kind of ananyaya, bhaktya, jnana lakshanaya, and with that shraddha and commitment, shraddhavan labhate jnanam, in the 4th chapter, okay, that person who has shraddha will gain this knowledge. And then we have yasya antasthani bhutani, etc. We'll cover that in the next class because we need to spend a little time on that. I don't want to rush through that. Okay. Om swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ